It's going to be over for Josh Kerr. They take them out, a three-way battle, and Nader coming wide for Portugal. What a run!
The men's 1,500-meter final was about to crown a new legend. The defending champion stumbled. The favorite began to fade. Out of nowhere, Nader surged. What happened in those final 100 meters left the world in disbelief. Portugal's Nader stormed down the home stretch to snatch gold in 3:34.10, edging Britain's Wightman by just 0.02 seconds in one of the closest finishes at the championships. Kenya's Renald Cheruiyot claimed bronze in 3:34.25, a further hundredth of a second behind silver. The victory marked Portugal's first-ever men's 1,500-meter world title. Nader became just the second athlete from Portugal to win a world title in the event, following Carla Sacramento's triumph in 1997. The 26-year-old had never won a global championship at any level before this race. His closing kick delivered the gold, 51.3 seconds for his last 400 meters, 25.32 seconds for his final 200 meters, and 12.28 seconds for his final 100 meters. The splits represented an incredible finish in a relatively slow championship race. With less than 50 meters remaining, Nader dug as deep as humanly possible as he gradually moved past Wightman, Renald Cheruiyot, Timothy Cheruiyot, and Niels Laros. He spotted the best 1,500-meter runners in the world, several meters in the home straight, and still ran them all down in the final stretch. The race began in chaos before it even started. Neither of the last two Olympic champions, Ingebrigtsen and Cole Hawker, even made the final. Ingebrigtsen was eliminated in the first round after battling an Achilles injury that cost him too much training time. Hawker was disqualified in the semifinals after officials determined he unfairly jostled Germany's Robert Farken while squeezing past him on the home straight. American Yared Nuguse, who sat atop the world rankings, failed to qualify out of the U.S. championships. The field was wide open in a way few could have predicted. The 14-man final consisted of three former world champions. Josh Kerr and Wightman represented the last two world champions. Timothy Cheruiyot, the 2019 gold medalist in Doha, completed the trio. Pre-race favorite Niels Laros, the 20-year-old Dutch sensation, was bidding to become the youngest ever world champion in the men's event. The race began at a slow pace, with no one seemingly wanting to lead. Laros seemed a reluctant frontrunner but led through 400 meters in 59 seconds, the kind of pace Roger Bannister handled on cinders decades earlier. Without Ingebrigtsen to push from the start, the field settled into tactical mode. With around 700 meters to go, the most notable incident of the race occurred when Kerr, boxed and not brilliantly positioned, pulled up sharply and started limping. For a few surreal seconds, he continued limping at the back of the field, not losing too much ground as he attempted to get going again. He was fighting a losing battle, eventually staggering home in 4:11.23. Kerr had injured his calf slightly when tripping in the semifinal, and it blew up early in the final. "It's my job," Kerr smiled ruefully afterward when asked why he continued. Wightman made a dramatic move to the front with 200 meters to go as he overtook leader Timothy Cheruiyot, reminiscent of his charge past Ingebrigtsen to win the world title in Eugene in 2022. Laros and everyone else looked beaten. Then came Nader with a late surge from 5th place. Coming from wide on the outside, he wound up his kick with perfect timing and edged past Wightman in the final lean. The Portuguese runner executed a dive at the line that made the difference. "In the last 100, I fully believed in myself. I knew Jake would be fighting until the end, so I went all in for a dive," Nader said after the race. "This was probably the first time I did it in my career, but I couldn't risk losing a world title. Clearly, it paid off in the end." Wightman looked like he had done enough for an improbable second world gold, but he had not counted on Nader's perfectly timed finish. The Briton had been away from major championships for 2 years due to injuries. "I came so close," Wightman told Olympics.com afterward. "I thought someone was coming, and I just did everything I could. The only way I could have topped that was with the win, but there's nothing else I could have done." He added, "I did not see what was happening in the race. I was fully focused on my own race, the last 200 meters, and I was just trying to win it so badly. To get that close, it is bittersweet. But I am glad to come out with something. I was not betting on Nader. I thought if someone was going to go, it would be Laros. But fair play to Nader, he ran a very, very good race," Wightman stated. Laros, the overwhelming favorite, failed to deliver his trademark kick in the home straight and faded to 5th in 3:34.52. The inexperience showed on the biggest stage. An element of surprise existed that Laros's fast finish failed to materialize. Reynold Cheruiyot, still only 18 years old, earned his first senior medal with bronze. The Kenyan showed composure beyond his years in finishing third. The winning time of 3:34.10 was some 5 seconds slower than the last two iterations of the 1,500-meter final at the World Championships. The tactical nature of the race created opportunities for a strong closer like Nader. Before the race, Laros was an odds-on favorite with one betting firm, with Nader only 28/1 and remarkably the seventh favorite. Anyone with the foresight to place euros on him would be celebrating. Nader's background did not suggest World Championship glory. Born on the 17th of August 1999 in Faro to a Portuguese mother and Moroccan father, he represents SL Benfica at club level. He is the nephew of Moroccan international footballer Hassan Nader. His previous best performances at major championships included bronze at the European Indoors in 2025, while he finished just outside the medals at the World Indoors. Last year, Nader was 8th in his Olympic 1,500-meter semifinal in Paris and 10th in the European final in Rome. At the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, he finished 12th and last 6 seconds behind gold medalist Kerr. Nader set Portuguese records of 1:43.86 for 800 meters, 3:29.37 for 1,500 meters, and 3:48.25 for the mile in 2025. His form improved throughout the season. He won the Oslo Diamond League. He delivered a series of top 5 finishes. Still, he was only 10th in the Diamond League final last month. Nader insisted post-race that he was not surprised to win in Tokyo. "I have no words for what happened, but I believed in myself and so did my family and girlfriend," Portuguese international runner Salome Afonso, he stated. "In fact, the two of us are our own training group. We are together 24/7 and she is at every session, even more than my coach, because he doesn't go to every altitude training camp. Having this group believing in me and supporting me is what really matters," he explained. "Some people criticized me and said I would never achieve this, but here I am, world champion and the first Portuguese man to win a global gold in the 1,500 meters. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to hear the Portuguese team cheering for me because the crowd here is so loud," Nader added. "I am emotionally tired, but very happy," Nader said. "I am speechless. Today I am a world champion and there is only one bigger title, the Olympic gold." Wightman won the 2022 World Championship but missed the major championships in 2023 and 2024. He fractured his foot before the 2023 World Championships. On the eve of the 2024 Olympics, he tore his hamstring. At the end of last season, he moved to Manchester to be closer to his physiotherapist in an attempt to prevent future injuries. The day before he was set to race at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston in February 2025, Wightman injured his knee. His dad, Jeff, his coach until this season, commentated on the race inside the National Stadium, just as he had done when Jake won in Oregon in 2022. The result underscored how open the men's 1,500 meters has become. Since the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, every global title has gone to a different athlete. Ingebrigtsen, Kerr, Wightman, Hawker, and now Nader. There have been 9 different winners across the last 9 global championships, the longest active streak in any event.
Adi Wale looking very strong again as they come through. And a superb run, a great victory once again there. Adi Wale, ooh!
Nobody moved. Nobody blinked. The crowd at Lee Valley watched as a 14-year-old British boy named Divine Ahame stepped onto the track calm, quiet, unaware of what was about to happen. When the gun fired, he launched forward like lightning. Seconds later, the stadium froze. The clock flickered. Whatever number was about to appear on that screen would change sprinting forever. Divine Ahame obliterated the world age 14 100-meter record by running 10.3 seconds with a wind-legal reading of 1.7 meters per second. The time destroyed the previous mark of 10.51 seconds set by Jamaica's Sachin Dennis. The performance shaved 0.2 of a second off the record, a massive margin in sprinting. His time placed him third on the European under 1:8 all-time list, behind only Britain's Teddy Wilson at 10.26 seconds and France's Jeff Arias at 10.27 seconds. The teenager known as Lightning Divine had arrived. The comparisons to legends began immediately. Usain Bolt ran 10.57 seconds at age 14. Ahame destroyed that mark by 27 hundredths of a second. Olympic champion Noah Lyles clocked 11.27 seconds at the same age, almost a full second slower than the British sensation. The context makes the achievement even more striking. Ahame's time would have placed him third at the 2024 British Athletics Championships. Senior men competing at the national level would have finished behind a 1-4-year-old. The time was quick enough to reach an Olympic final as recently as 1996. Ihem's reaction told the story. "When I first saw it, I was in utter shock. I couldn't believe it," he told Sky Sports News. "I was jumping about, running around. I just felt so happy, but I couldn't have done it without God." The record came from someone with sprinting in his blood. Both of his parents represented Nigeria at the 2002 Commonwealth Games in Manchester. His father, Innocent, competed in the 100 meters and long jump. His mother, Nkiruka, ran the 100 meters and 200 meters. His grandparents were runners as well. Nkiruka spotted the talent early. "I knew when he was in my tummy," she told the BBC. "When I was pregnant, he kept on kicking." She founded the PWD Athletic Academy in Oxfordshire to nurture young talent. She became her son's coach. The Oxfordshire-based athlete studied the best to ever do it. "I've watched quite a lot of Usain Bolt's races and Alison Felix's 200 meters, 400 meters and relays," Ihem told Sky Sports. "Probably the first race I watched was his Bolt's 200 meters world record, the 19.19, and I was inspired to pursue the dream." He developed his own approach. "In my opinion, I think my running style is unique and natural. I don't try to model it from anyone," he explained. The progression before the record showed consistent improvement. 2 years earlier, at age 12, Ihem ran the 100 meters in 11.3 seconds. The journey from that mark to 10.3 seconds represented extraordinary development in a short time frame. Leading up to the record-breaking race, Ihem had run faster than 10.51 seconds on 3 separate occasions. He clocked 10.46, 10.48, and 10.49 seconds earlier in the year. None of those times counted because they exceeded the legal wind limit. The 10.3 performance at Lee Valley came with a legal 1.7 meters per second wind reading. "I remember on the day the timer was delayed," Ihem told The Telegraph. "I was crouched, waiting. I saw 10.3 and I started screaming and shouting and running around. I was really surprised. The commentators started going crazy. It was an amazing experience. I loved it." His mother was visiting family in Nigeria when the record fell. They watched footage of the race remotely. "We were jumping up and down," Nkiruka said. The teenager committed to representing Great Britain despite his Nigerian heritage. "I want to represent Great Britain in the future because they have helped me the most," he stated in an interview. His response to comparisons with Noah Lyles showed maturity beyond his years. "Noah Lyles is a great athlete and he's given me a lot of confidence to pursue this career, run quicker, get a better time," he told Sky Sports. "I feel like it gives me the confidence to break more and more barriers as I go through my journey." The story did not end with the 100-meter record. Ihem turned 15 years old in October 2024. He shifted focus to indoor competition and the 60-meter distance. He ran 6.76 seconds at the BFTTA Indoor Series at Lee Valley in December 2024. The time came within 0.02 seconds of Mark Lewis Francis's British under 1/8 60-meter record of 6.69 seconds set in 1999. The performance also approached the world age 15 record of 6.74 seconds, established by American Jamie Samuels in 2003. The breakthrough came on the 5th of January 2025 at the BFTTA Indoor Series in London. Ihemi broke the world age 15 60-meter record not once but twice in the same day. He clocked 6.72 seconds in his first race, eclipsing Samuel's 2-year-old record. He then improved to 6.71 seconds in his second race. Divine Iheme's name has become synonymous with speed. His double record-breaking indoor performance placed him fourth on the United Kingdom under 1/8 all-time 60-meter rankings, just 0.02 seconds behind Mark Lewis Francis's long-standing 6.69-second record from 1999. "It felt amazing because now I can hold 2 titles to my name, but I am also aware that I don't want to let it get to my head," Ihem told Athletics Weekly. He admitted he didn't even realize he'd broken the world record until he saw an Instagram post celebrating it. When asked which record meant more, he chose the 100 meters. "Definitely the 100 meters world record because it was my first one," he said. "I was waiting forever for the board to show times. My heart was racing. Then I saw 10.3 pop up and just started jumping and screaming." Despite the global spotlight, Ihem insists he feels no pressure. "I know I'm stronger in the 160 and I can perform better there," he said. "Seeing my name getting so much attention makes me feel good because I've worked so hard for this." His mother, Nkiruka, serves as his coach and she runs a strict program. "It's really tough because she's my coach and I can't skip any sessions," Ihem said. "When we're at the track, there's no mercy, But that's what makes it great, it pushes me to run faster. The results speak for themselves. At the 2025 English Schools Championships, Ehime shattered the intermediate boys' 100-meter record with a 10.41-second run. A month later, he trimmed his personal best to 10.29 seconds, improving his world age group record. "So glad to have run a PB, it can only be God," he wrote on Instagram. Athletics runs deep in the Ehime family. His parents both competed for Nigeria at the 2002 Commonwealth Games. His older brothers, Praise and Wisdom, are also active in sports. Divine began training at 7, showing early flashes of brilliance. "I'd always win by a big margin," he recalled of school races. By 12, he focused solely on sprinting and within a year became English Schools champion. By 14, he held the UK under 1-4 record at 10.56 seconds before obliterating it with his 10.3-second world record. Now 15, he holds 2 world age group titles, the 100 meters, 10.3, and 60 meters, 6.71. Both times are faster than Usain Bolt or Noah Lyles ran at the same age. Ehem dreams big. "I can see myself with Olympic titles in the 100 and 200, he told the BBC, eyeing the 2028 Los Angeles Games. He trains 4 times a week at the PWD Academy, balances church and school, and studies sports psychology. His favorite athletes, Noah Lyles, Dina Asher-Smith, Sherika Jackson, and Letsile Tebogo, inspire his style. "I try to slingshot off the bend and hold first till the finish," he said. He races not just for glory but for family. "I want to make sure my parents can relax while I take care of them," he said. His rivalry with Australian prodigy, Gout, also running 10.29 seconds, has fans calling it sprinting's next Ronaldo versus Messi. Born in 2009, the year Bolt set his 200 meters world record, Ehem symbolizes sprinting's new era. The boy who ran 11.3 seconds at 12 now flies under 10.3 at 15. His body is still growing, his confidence expanding, and his name rising fast. Lightning has struck twice for Divine Ehem, and the storm is only beginning. Noah Lyles and Kishane Thompson, 2 names that have defined the world of sprinting since their razor-thin finish at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Lyles claimed gold by just 0.005 of a second, a result so close it stunned even the athletes themselves. That moment didn't end the story, it started one. Through 2025, their rivalry has exploded across every major meet, each race bringing new tension, new records, and new drama. And when the world turned its eyes to Tokyo for the World Championships, the next chapter of this historic clash took a turn no one saw coming. In Paris, Noah Lyles surged past Thompson in the final strides, winning 9.784 to 9.789. The result shook Thompson to his core. "It shook my existence," he later confessed. While Lyles beamed with pride, Thompson plotted his revenge. And 2025 would give him plenty of opportunities. The first warning shot came in June, when Thompson clocked an astonishing 9.75 seconds at the Jamaican Championships, the fastest time in a decade and 6th fastest all time. That wasn't just a personal best, it was a message to the world. And it wasn't long before he got his chance to face Lyles again. The 16th of August 2025, in Silesia, Poland, the long-awaited Olympic rematch at the Diamond League. Thompson blasted out of the blocks and never looked back, winning with a meet record equaling 9.87. Lyles finished second in 9.9, his season's best at that point. For Lyles, who had been easing back into form after a spring ankle injury, it was a stepping stone. For Thompson, it was redemption. After the race, the war of words reignited. Lyles told Norwegian broadcaster NRK, "I still feel like he's in my pocket." Thompson, grinning, fired back, "My pocket's going to be so far ahead next time." These weren't just playful jabs, they were fuel for Tokyo. All eyes turned to the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo. The final was stacked with contenders. Lyles, seeking to defend his world title and shake off a season that he himself described as the most wild and unexpected of his career. Thompson, fresh off a flawless season and eager to claim his first world gold. And then, silently waiting, was oblique Seville. Seville had tasted heartbreak before. In Paris, he finished last in the Olympic final. In previous World Championships, he placed 4th, just off the podium. But in 2025, Seville looked different. He beat Lyles at the Lausanne Diamond League,